Howdy, 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 howdy. Welcome to yet another episode. This is episode 4, season 3 of the Diary of a Lost and Found Child. Man, I'm so glad I decided to do this. And I'm also so excited for you guys who are choosing to come on this journey with me. I'm so honored that you guys think I actually have something to say meaningful enough for you to follow, subscribe. Please keep doing it. Thank you. This platform, or rather this concept, is available on all my platforms. On Instagram page ni at Diary Fairy ama Diary of a Lost and Found Child. Search to tapata Diary of a Lost and Found Child. This podcast was fully inspired, as I always say, by Abraham Maslow's theory about the self, or rather human needs, and how they are in such kind of a hierarchy that you start with basic needs, and at the very top most is self-actualization, which I think is all we should aspire to do or to be. Some of the people who are renowned names in terms of self-actualized people in history is Nelson Mandela, Mother Teresa, Maya Angelou as well. You can check out who else and maybe find an inspiration to see how you also can become a self-actualized person. Thank you for joining with me. Karibu sana to yet another episode of season 3. My name is Tabby. If you like, you can call me Tabs. And we're cruising nice into the 4th episode. Please follow, please subscribe. Pale Instagram, hii video utaona snippet yake, lakini full video iko pale kwenye link. So just click the link, it will take you to YouTube. Please subscribe, please follow. And let's keep talking about things that can build us and the things that are important every single day. I hope you're doing well. I hope life is being kind. And if it's not, give it a slap on the bum and keep moving forward. Yeah, this is me to me also. Anyway, karibu sana. This episode, tunaongelea mambo ya self-belief. A term that I feel like lost its essence in the middle of lifing somewhere. But I think it's also very important. I think it's a term, it's a concept that, for me, at some point, it lost its meaning. People keep telling you out here, oh my God, girl, you have to believe in yourself. Oh my God, girl, And I'm like, okay, cool. But what exactly is that? So you know how, it's about believing in your abilities, believing in your, in God, and merging all those things into some sort of belief that steers you forward every day. But there are days that you wake up and you look yourself in the mirror and you're like, I don't even want to see you today, girl, because I'm tired. And I don't feel like I'm, feeling my best. I think that's allowed. But for me, I had to sit down and think. Well, I didn't literally sit down. I just had to constantly remind myself, self-belief. For me, self-belief has become the acknowledgement of my flaws, my bad habits, my bad attitudes, acknowledgement of things that I believed in that don't work for me anymore, unlearning, relearning, and allowing myself to just accommodate all those, the negative and the positive in my life, right? And acknowledge that this parts of me are what make me me. Does that make sense? I have more often than not been told, okay, so for example, I know I have a dope voice. I know that. Like, bila hata kuniambia, I know that. Often than not, I've had someone, comments coming in when I'm in this, events, view spaces and all that. And someone says, oh my God, you sound so much like so-and-so. They mention another personality in the African space. And I'm like, well, I don't say this, but in my head, I'm like, maybe they sound like me. Obviously, the comparison is good. But unconsciously I find myself hata like nikiwa kwa hizi spaces nataka naongea ndo ni sound ama najaribu tu na hata si try sana, by the way si try sana, najikuta tu in my head nikifikiria oh my god na sound kama nani. I don't think that's a good thing though, because I might get lost in the compliment and forget what made me originally think that I have a great voice, right? Sometimes I think all through life to me, and this is where, that's why I said some of these things have to be unlearned, right? You've grown up in systems and spaces that have molded your ideas about you, right? The school system, your younger years at home under your parents' care. You get into school, you get into society, and there's still a lot of things that make you, or that define what you are, who you are, what you can and can't do. When I was in high school, and I think that guy was a con man. Shout out to everyone I finished Form 4 with. Mnakumbuka huyu con man alifanya tuamke 4 a.m. kwenda kupewa motivation. God damn it. Anyway. Mad. And he is another reason why I think self-belief is important. So this guy, we are in high school, we are in Form 4, of course kuna kwanga tu na haraka za sijui nini, like god damn it, chill man. Anyway, it's back in that day, tuko na haraka huku tunaharakishwa na Prince, oh you guys have to be up at this time, there's a motivational speaker coming to speak to you, tukutane hall sijui nini. And because you're in Form 4 and that Kim urgency of everything is in you, now you're just moving like agents. So this guy says, so our Prince says, there's a motivational speaker coming to speak to us. And, I don't even know what his credentials were, honestly. God damn it. Honestly, though. And anyway, so we were supposed to be up at 4 tukutane naye because he's coming to speak to us at 4 freaking a.m. Bro, hata kama ni motivation. Chai. Anyway, so we go, we're settled in the hall, and then this guy comes. Aka man, okay? He comes. He's got, I think, maybe 2 other people accompanying him. Ata kutembea ni agency too. Nini. I'm like, okay. So hadi unastuka, unasikia hadi ukiketi chini kurelax, unastuka. Unastuka. Anyway, this guy came, told us how he's achieved a shit ton of things. Told us how we need to be, hardworking and blah, 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 and all these things. He said them. And in my head, I'm like, oh, he also tells us how he's made so much money doing whatever the hell he was doing. He brought us tabs, like 2 iPads. Alituletea iPads za kusoma. Sijui hizo iPads zilikuwa zimeinstoliwa na I think different subjects, so ungepata vitu za chem, like content ya chem, content ya bio, blah blah blah. So obviously motivational speaker kuongelesha in your head, you're like, oh my god, if I work hard I'll be happy, I'll be like this man, oh my god, I'll make money, I remember this man, after the whole thing, when we went into classes, this man started doing patrol in classes. There were 2 classes for Form 4. I don't know, was it East and West? Anyway, yeah. So there were 2 classes. So this man was doing patrols. Bro, kedo 5 in the morning. Sasa tumemaliza mambo za hall. Tumemaliza kupatiwa motivation. Sasa tukakuja class preps time za asubuhi. This man comes and he's walking around the classes. He's walking around, anakuja akiongelesha watu, kibinafsi, anasimama hapa pale. This man came and stood near me. And he said, and he asked me, ati kwa nini namkondolea macho kama, sijui alisema nini. Alafu akaniambia, akachukua mkono yangu, my palm, yeah? My palm, akachukua mkono yangu akasoma. Sijui alikuwa asoma nini. Mimi sijuangi palm readers mnasoma nini, but anyway, akachukua mkono yangu akasema, wewe inawezekana utakuwa either con woman ama utaingia kwenye social work in your career. Mimi sikutilia manani, unaniambia nini bro? Kwani wewe ni Yesu? Unajua mambo yangu mimi? Anyway, fast forward to Campo. I saw Mad Social Work. Story for another day. I saw Mad Social Work. I didn't want it, but I ended up so in Social Work. Yeah, and then life happened, and now we're here. Now the other day I was just thinking about this, and I'm like, imagine kama ningebelieve kitu huyo msee angeniambia kuhusu kwa con person. Okay, maybe niko na hizo tendencies. You know what? Never mind. But like, Aline explaining the possibilities of my future. Something only I am supposed to establish. I didn't think about it for long. Maybe just in that high school period. But obviously after high school, nikasahau hizo mambo bro. But later, nikapitia Campo, nikamaliza, nikaingia job market. Ndo nikarealize, umse alisema kitu kuhusu social work and being a con person. And truth to it, nilisoma social work Campo. The thing is though, was I supposed to believe him because he said it, right? Or am I supposed to assess my journey and that will form my perspective of my self-belief? Juzi nikaanza juzi shida za maisha zilinikumba dada shida za maisha zilinikumba tu. Nikajikuta nikifikiria vile naweza tafuta do through almost conning situations. Guys, missy con man, wallahi billahi missy con man. But kuna situation nilifikiria hivyo, and that got me thinking again. I was like, okay, maybe umse alikuwa na kitu. But again, is his version of my story supposed to lead my story? Is like story yake, yani version yake ya mambo zangu inafai kuwe the gospel truth about me? Hell no. I determine that. And that's why how I move shows a lot about my self-belief. Remember again, it's not about all roses and ponies about myself. It's about also accepting the flaws, right? And sometimes you interact with people who have so much belief in you and your capabilities, which then now reminds you like, okay, so who the fuck am I? Like, mtu ashakwambia kitu kuhusu mpaka you're like unanyamazilia because kuna amini hata unaweza jifikiria in that way, right? And I think all this are supposed to form self-belief, but they're not supposed to be so rigid, because I think also over time and just through life, your idea of self keeps changing because of the different phases of life you're in. And that's why sometimes I think I asked like my classmates or like some of my friends, and I asked them, did I ever seem like someone who would end up in this yapping industry? Because in my head I never thought about myself like that. I don't even think I thought that I had such confidence to do the things I've been able to do today. And that's why I think it's okay, it's allowed for your ideas about yourself to keep changing over time, because you're also an evolving human, right? And even as we move through life, I think it's okay to pick up what people are saying, the good and the bad, but it's also okay to filter them and establish what resonates with you, like for real, what resonates with you. It's like also, you know how there are 1,000,001 skincare products, right? And everyone who's talking about those products will say that each of those products is amazing for your skin. But you're going to have to try what works for you. Kwa hizo zote still. And I thought about self-belief as that, as like there's so many things, even opinions that you form about yourself that might not be true, that might change over time, and that might not resonate with people from outside, because you're the one who's doing your life, right? So I guess the reason why I wanted to incorporate this in this season is because sometimes there's so much internal pressure, number one. And the internal pressure comes from not acknowledging our faults, our negatives, which are very much a part of us, and thinking that those things are bad, so you don't even take time to acknowledge them. And I just want to say it's okay to change what you think about yourself every single day. It's okay. Well, not every day. I mean, come on, like, have some foundation, honey, you know? But it's okay to change how you think about yourself over time. It's okay to pick up from people what they say, but don't let it consume your belief of self, right? Again, I'll come back to that example of people saying that my voice sounds like so and so. Imagine if I'm so excited about the fact, because that other person that they're comparing me with is a huge success, is an African star, but like, I would be tempted subconsciously, and these things really do happen behind the scenes. I'd be tempted to start moving like that person, sounding like that person, and I lose my authenticity. I lose what made me in the first place think that, oh my God, I do have a great voice. You know what I mean? So I think self-belief allows us to be patient with ourselves. It allows us to make mistakes and see our flaws and acknowledge them. And I also believe you just have to have a version of a story that you tell yourself that is not highly influenced by other people, right? Whether it's about your career, whether it's about your life choices, whether it's about love, mambo ya mapenzi nayo ni ngumu. Najua wanasema watu ambao wamelala kwa kitanda kimoja usiwaambie mambo, mapenzi different. Anyway, even about love and your approach to it and how you feel that someone should be treating you, and maybe that doesn't resonate with everyone. It's so easy to get lost in the opinions of the world. But I think the concept of self-belief allows us to have a grounding of, even without the noise outside, this is who I am, this is what I can do, this is what I offer the world, this is how I feel about ABCD. It's okay. And therefore, I think self-belief for me as I wind up is looking at yourself in the mirror every day and saying that, yeah, I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Self-belief is believing who you see in the mirror and choosing that person every day before you choose external stuff and other people. And it's not an easy thing to keep doing, but it's a worth it shot because it really does ground you. But you know what's crazy? The other day I was watching a movie and someone said, it was a guy and a babe, and it was in a setup of, they're friends and they were sort of like having an argument or just different perspectives about something. And this guy said, you should extend grace to, the line was, you should extend grace to these people because you expected grace to be extended to you by your children. And then the person went ahead and said, no one knows what they're doing in this life, but how you feel about this situation is the exact same way you needed your kids to feel about the situation. Anyway, it's a long story, but what caught my mind is like, no one knows what they're doing in this life. But that's the thing, like, when I hear things like that, and I'm a Libra, right? I'm this people for balance. I'm these people who this is what we're working with, but there also has to be this. So what's the in between? I'm those people. And so for me, I guess this is how I'm going to wind up. And I'm going to say, if you think also like me and you're like, okay, I need to believe in myself, I need to not pick out these outside things, but also no one knows what they're doing, I'm not even sure what I'm doing, what is this life anyway? Don't pick that up. The whole point of this was, endelea kujiaminia, tafuta kitu ya kuaminia. kujihusu, so that all this sort of like makes sense, even if most of the times it doesn't. And that's it. That's a wrap. That's a wrap for this episode. Thank you for coming through with me up until now. I would really like to hear your comments and your insights on this whole thing of self-belief. Also, if you've got like stuff you need people to learn, or like points of references about articles you've read, books you've read, and things like that, feel free to drop the links or the stories or the references in the comment section. I really like to interact with my viewers and listeners, and because I do this for me and for you guys to grow pamoja still. Thank you. This is a wrap for episode 4. I will see you in the next episode of The Diary of a Lost and Found Child with me, your host Tabby. If you like, call me Tab.